You know, it was Randy Orton's 20th anniversary. He debuted on Raw 20 years ago at the end of April 2002, straight out of OVW. And look where he's gone from there. The same place. He's gone nowhere. He's been in the same place for 20 years. Poor fella. They did a great video for Randy Orton. Did you see that at the top of the big celebration?
I did see the top of the show, yes.
And then they had his best friend in the whole world, Riddle. NFI Riddle, or NFM Riddle, no first name. He's surrounded by, what did they pick? Like, I saw Bobby Lashley out there, but they never really focused on him, and otherwise it was just underneath guys that were around the ring for Randy's big celebration. But they were in Knoxville. He was born in Knoxville. Bob Orton Jr. was working Southeastern Wrestling right before the big split in 79. That's when Randy was born, when he was there.
I was going to say, what month was he born? Was it before the split or was it after the split? Because they were still in Knoxville.
Good. Well, why don't you Google...
All right, hold on.
Randy Orton's birth date, and then we'll know exactly who Bob Orton Jr. was working for at that time.
Randy Orton was, according to this, he was born April 1st, 1980, so...
Aha, so it was while Orton was with the Poffos and ICW. Because he stayed in Knoxville. He was already living there, and Eastern Kentucky wasn't that far. And then he was one of the first ones to, along with Roop, to bail out and go to Mid-South in 82, right?
That's right.
But anyway.
In 81.
In 81. Almost 82.
Almost 82.
It was the one right before 82.
It was very close.
I hate to be corrected. Anyway, Randy Orton did a really good, real promo as himself with no mental issues or conflicts in his good or bad or evil side or whatever. He was being himself, and he thanked everybody and did a nice promo. And then Riddle introduced, of course, they're inextricably linked with each other, his best friend, Cody. So Cody could have the big entrance and come out and give the big hugs. I know we weren't watching a lot of WWE before Cody left in 2016, but did he and Orton have extensive interaction?
I think when Cody first came up to the main roster, wasn't it Cody and DiBiase Jr. as a part of Orton's little group at the time?
Ah, that may have been. So they get a big moment there. And then suddenly Seth Rollins is there in a green suit. And he interrupts the whole thing and said, "Don't trust him, Randy." And Seth comes in and does what Seth does. And he's swimming and swerving and laughing and cackling and whatever. And this kind of got hard to watch at this point. And then here comes Ezekiel, a.k.a. Elias. And he jumps in the ring with a microphone. I guess they've just got an endless supply of microphones. Since nobody's in charge of this from the promotion, it's just the talent being left to do what they want. So Seth is puzzled as to who Ezekiel is. And here comes Owens, and he's freaking out because he's now being driven to distraction over Ezekiel, calling himself Ezekiel instead of Elias, because everybody knows it's Elias, but nobody will admit it's Elias, and you see where this is going. And I said, I'm about to give up on this. And then here came the Usos. And it's 16 minutes into this segment, and here come the Usos. And then here comes Adam Pearce. And he makes an 8-man tag team match for later on tonight out of this bitch fest that they've been having with each other, where it'll be Seth and Owens and the Usos against Orton and Riddle and Cody and Ezekiel Elias. He needs a new name. How can we join Elias and Ezekiel? Elekiel? Isaias? Anyway, so for the holy shit end of this moment, Owens punches Elias and Orton RKO's Owens, and everybody else either just stands around or leaves. 18 minutes. Your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, it's Monday Night Raw. This is what they do. It's like Vince McMahon Playhouse more than it's professional wrestling. And it's people acting like children. I will say, to his credit, Seth Rollins' character is starting to cross over into being so stupid that I'm entertained by it now. Because now it's just preposterous. And you said there were different people at ringside. It was like 1980s WWE. It was so silly. They show over here, here's this person in character, here's Queen Zelina waving to the people. And then there's Seth Rollins just sitting there in his fucking suit. And he has a microphone for no good reason. And then he just gets to take over the segment. He's so ridiculous. And he's so committed to it. Look at how committed he is to being this buffoon.
Oh, he needs to be committed.
It's astounding. And it's crossed over now. Now, it goes too long every time. But now there's a moment every one of his segments where I'm like, this guy's so fucking dumb. I love this. And then it goes on too long.
Well, fortunately, we were able to make up some time in the air like an airplane pilot, because the next bit of business, Bianca Belair. It's her hometown, Knoxville, Tennessee. The people are excited to see her, right? And she's going to take on Cruella de Vil, and they've been having this back and forth for the past couple of weeks, whatever, and Cruella's back in the ring now. So they start the match. They go less than a minute. They go to the floor, and Bianca throws Cruella over the announcer's desk, and she's counted out. What the fuck? But then Cruella gets mad. No. We're going to restart this. We're going to have a match with no countouts. So Bianca jumps back down, and they have an awkward fight on the floor. And then Cruella hits Bianca with a chair and gets disqualified in a minute. And then she is mad and restarts the thing with no disqualification and no count out. And here comes Zelina and Carmella, and they go to a break. And when they come back, they go, was it another 2 minutes? Maybe. With Zelina and Carmella just in the ring helping out willy-nilly at random because it's no DQ. Lazy booking. And then Bianca makes a comeback and beats her 1, 2, 3. They had 3 matches in a combined total of a little over 3 minutes, not counting the commercial break. So that was a wonderful way to showcase Bianca Belair in her hometown with the hot crowd. Didn't you think?
I only saw a little bit of this and I was out. Again, as I said before, Max Scherzer was on the mound. I was going to go watch the Met game, but I was checking out a little bit of what was happening, and I was intrigued just by it being her hometown. That was actually one of the cool things. The fact that it was the town Randy Orton was born in was her hometown. I saw they had Kane backstage. I don't know if they ever brought him out because I was
he
done with the show.
He never came out, and good thing. People will probably be throwing rotten eggs at him now since he's revealed his true colors.
That's right. That's really all I could say. I didn't really see too much of this. I wasn't interested. As soon as I saw Sonya Deville, whatever it was, because she's been that lame authority figure. I don't know what she's been for a while. I just wasn't interested in this at all.
She hasn't even been a lame authority figure. It's an unbelievable authority. If she had been an authority figure and then suddenly, had the problem with one person and tried to get by with jacking them around without being obvious about it, and then finally gets found out and relinquishes her powers or whatever, but it was just on and on. She was actually doing both. She was being obviously biased and unfair and heelish while still week after week after week holding that position. It got a little meh.